create a lock and leave home. And I really like this idea. You don't have the kids in the house, most likely. If you have a pet, you arrange ahead of time for that person to take the pet or come stay at your home. But create a home that doesn't require a lot of maintenance for you to be there. So that, hey, a great deal coming up on Hawaii, Mexico, or visiting family. You can just pack the bag, lock it up, and leave it. Love this idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Welcome to 2026. This is Getting Your Edge, How to Downsize Your Home and Life podcast. I'm Dennis Day with co-host Judy Gratton, and we are here to talk about resizing your life, a more flexible, intentional approach to simplifying home finances and lifestyle. Whether you're considering a smaller home, a resort community, or a RV lifestyle, or maybe aging in place, this conversation will help you make decisions that fit your life now. If you're overwhelmed by maintenance, underusing space, or unsure how we should move at all, this episode will help you find clarity without pressure.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dennis Day with Getting Your Edge, How to Downsize Your Home and Life.
And Judy, welcome.
Hello, I'm Judy Gratton. And if you're living in a home that feels bigger, emptier, or just harder to manage, you're in the right place.
Today, we're talking about something we hear more and more from our clients, honestly. Something we wish people had heard of earlier in our downsizing programs.
Instead of asking, should I downsize or move? We're asking a different question. What if you right-size your life?
The word downsizing can get a little overwhelming. For a lot of homeowners, it sounds like a loss.
Loss of space, loss of memories, loss of status, or even loss of independence. We see that emotional weight all the time when people talk about selling a long-time family home.
We work with people downsizing into retirement every day, and many of them aren't actually struggling with space. Perhaps they're struggling with high maintenance or energy costs.
True, and they're heating rooms that they never used and cleaning spaces that they don't need and paying for upkeep that no longer matches their lifestyle. That's where the idea of right-sizing comes in.
Okay. So what does right-sizing mean?
Right-sizing your life is about alignment and balance, and it does not automatically mean that you're going to be moving.
It means stepping back and asking, how do I actually live today? What spaces in my home do I use? What responsibilities feel heavy or overwhelming? What do I want more of and less of in this next chapter of my life? And does this home fit how I live now?
And right-sizing might mean staying in your home and remodeling for one-level living. So if you've got a 2-story home, maybe there's a way that you can convert a room downstairs into your bedroom.
It might mean decluttering before downsizing.
Absolutely. It could mean converting unused space into something purposeful like guests, hobbies, or even rental income.
Or it might actually mean moving to a smaller home, a resort community, an RV lifestyle, or retirement, but on your terms, not because you feel rushed or pushed. Let's go over 12 tips that you can use to resize your home and life. All right, Judy, here we go. Right size, not downsize. 12 steps to less stress and more. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Suggestion number 1, live on one level and reduce the stairs.
Stairs become very hazardous the older that we get. So that's always a great idea. I have a client right now who's trying to figure out how to remodel her townhome so that she can live on the first floor.
Number 2, close off or repurpose unused rooms.
I have a guest room right now, and we don't have guests hardly ever. I totally understand that concept. I think it's a great idea.
Sewing room, craft room. If it's in a certain spot in the house, it might be a woodworking room.
Or you can turn a room that you're not using into a room for your hobbies that you never had a chance to enjoy before.
Number 3, declutter without relocating. It's always a good to do.
It's really a good idea. We have different methods that we suggest to go about recluttering. Everything from buying dots that you put on things, put something in the baskets. And if you even do just a little bit every day, just for a few minutes a day, but you have to start looking at things. You have to realize in this day and age, very few things that we think are valuable have value.
Some boxes or bins.
I like the idea of the boxes because when that donate box gets filled up, just take it and donate it. I guess you could try and sell things on Facebook or Etsy or eBay, but I've tried that too. And you get people who say they're going to take something and they never show up and you start all over again. It's just so time consuming and really not worth the money. So not for me anyway, not for my time.
Just get started with a closet or a shelf. Just
absolutely a drawer where I have designated junk drawers. I still have them, but I'm trying to get junk out. I look at it and it's, have I used this in the last year?
Reduce your maintenance, not your space.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like this is a big one for me, the yard work. We have a huge yard and we've hired someone now to at least help quite a bit, but reducing that, snow removal, huge. If you can find a neighborhood kid that you can pay to do that or find a service, same thing with housekeeping.
Tip 5.
Simplify your landscaping.
I have actually started mixing clover into my lawn. I don't know
Me too.
which result will be, but my hope is that the clover takes over because it is drought resistant, much easier to manage. It's better for the environment as well. And then planting native plants helps.
Native plants are drought tolerant and they just don't require near the maintenance that some of the other plants that we know and love. Change your lighting is one of the cheapest and easiest ways to improve your household. It also improves energy costs and safety. So change your LED lights. Remove your fluorescents. Nobody likes fluorescent light. I know we tolerated that through the 70s and 80s, but nobody likes that kind of light. Create a walk-in shower. Add grab bars. I just ordered one for my mom. She comes over. She needs to have a grab bar in the bathroom and makes things safer and easy. Remodel for comfort. Shrink your expenses.
Pay off credit cards. That's always a great idea if you can do it. We had magazines. My father-in-law started on a Reader's Digest, which just went from the mail to the bin for years because we never read it. And if you do read them, donate them after the fact. There are lots of places that would be thrilled to have your magazines. And then, of course, cable and subscription. There are services now that will actually go through and clean out your subscriptions. Apps are another thing that we end up paying for on our phone and not realizing it until it's too late. They'll either organize them for you so you know what's coming up, or they'll cancel them. And then cable, there are ways around cable now. We finally cut the cord a few years ago, and we've been very happy that we did. We have a smart television and go through our internet service, and most people have internet now.
Create a lock and leave home. I really like this idea. You don't have the kids in the house, most likely. If you have a pet, you arrange ahead of time for that person to take the pet or come stay at your home. But create a home that doesn't require a lot of maintenance for you to be there. So that, hey, a great deal coming up on Hawaii, Mexico, or visiting family. You can just pack the bag, lock it up, and leave it. Love this idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Rent before you move. Really highly suggest this. I've heard a lot about people who have said, I want to move to this vacation area. We love it there, etc. And then they go there and it isn't what they expected.
The community that you're comfortable with is not there. The services that you need may not be there. So I think that's an excellent idea.
Not for a weekend, not for a week. Stay for several months and see if the weather changes. Well, I have a friend in Puerto and she loves it there 10 months of the year, but August and September are horrifically hot, humid, very little of that wind or a breeze.
My brother lives down there as well.
Yeah. The weather can change, so spend time before you make a decision.
I have a good friend who's doing that right now. She's down at the desert. She's staying there till March. It was a family home and she's considering buying it, but she's going to go down and see how it goes for her before she comes back home.
Turn that space into a rental or a guest space for extra income.
I have friends that have Airbnbs in their home and they do very well with it. You may not want to go the route of people who come and stay for a day or a week or whatever, because that requires a lot of maintenance, but they bring in medical or traveling nurses. Corporations like Boeing will bring people in under an apprenticeship from another part of the country and have them stay for 2 to 6 months. That's great if you're comfortable with that idea, but always work with reputable organizations and make sure that you run all the background checks to make sure they're a good fit for you. Big closet that she actually turned into being used as one of the bedrooms in her rental area down in the basement of her home.
Number 11, outsource what drains your energy. Some people are really into this grocery delivery.
My daughter being one of them. She was doing delivery during COVID, but then now she's really into where you place the order and then you just pull up and pick it up. Oh, and yeah. that sort of thing, that sort of service, she's got 3 little kids. So it really is helpful for her. If you can afford grocery delivery or pickup where you just place your order and then you pick it up at the store. Even stores like Target are doing that now.
Home maintenance can be problems. I'm getting up there in years myself. If I don't want to be climbing up on ladders, getting on the second story, the fall could be catastrophic. So look for a great handyman or a service. There are apps that help you do this.
Nextdoor is a great place to ask people around you. Who have you used that you recommend?
And a meal service. Some people swear by this and they get these healthy, appropriate meals that taste great and they deliver them to your door.
There's all kinds of them being advertised now. The other meal services are like pre-cooked, packaged. Some of them are even fresh, not frozen. And they have massive menus, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It is a cost, but it may well be worth it.
If it gives you time to do the other things you really want to do and you can afford it, why not? Number 12, change your schedule or your routines. Many of us have got into a routine based on our work schedule. And now perhaps you're retired, you're working part-time. So changing things up can really fit exactly what you're doing, what your lifestyle is now, rather than what it was when you were a 40-hour plus a week employee.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Those are all really good ways to make changes in your life that make your life more comfortable, whether you move or don't move. What life is all about is making decisions from making your best choices from different options.
So it's a recalibration, resizing, not the full downsize, downsizing light.
I think
going.
downsizing, that word scares people. It's like they're afraid they're going to lose something they don't want to lose. And you don't have to do that. On the other hand, you do have to be realistic about what really is working in your life and what it costs to keep it, if it's something that you really want. So let's give you some ideas of what some other people have done with their homes. We recently worked with some homeowners who assumed that selling was their only option. They looked through resizing their life and they realized they really loved their community. They loved the neighborhood they were in, and they really didn't want to leave. So they did remodel to get a main floor with reduced storage and simplified the landscaping, and suddenly the home worked well for them.
We had another couple of thought downsizing meant giving up their comfort that they were going to be squeezed into a tiny little space. Instead, they sold the big family home. They moved into a smaller space in a resort area with all kinds of amenities they actually use: walking trails, social events, and low maintenance. And we see people exploring the RV living too.
Yes.
Part-time or full-time. Resizing gives you permission to experiment on what life you really like.
I think the important thing is for people to dream. This is your opportunity to do things that you've put off because you were raising a family, because you were doing this, because you were doing that. And this gives you the opportunity to make changes that will make your life more comfortable and fulfilling, whether it's staying in your house or not. We personally have been looking at the idea of building an ADU on our property, and my son is disabled. So at some point in the future, turning this home into an adult family home where he could continue to stay in the home that he really knows. And then building that ADU, allowing the people who would take care of the home and the people living here to live there. It would be eventually a source of income for us and for our son once we're gone. And then we could go on to things that we want to do with our life. So there's all kinds of things to consider. And we're happy to discuss those with you.
If you're listening or watching and wondering, okay, resize, what's my next step? What am I going to do?
Ask yourselves if you're downsizing because you want to or you feel that you should. Do not should on yourself. Do I need less space or less responsibility? If you're comfortable with the space you have, but you're just tired of the things that you're doing, you need to weigh those decisions. Would lifestyle changes solve the stress that maybe you're feeling right now before a move?
This is where good real estate can advise you, and we can provide that. Downsizing isn't just a transaction for us. It is a life
transition, and it requires really some thought. People that right size first, with the decluttering part of it, that may solve your problem. Finding a landscaper, a great handyman, the meal service idea, exploring what you want to do next. I think all of that, people who do that, they make better financial and emotional decisions.
One of the biggest mistakes we see people make is jumping into it and selling quickly, too fast, maybe on a whim.
Resizing your life can help you avoid unnecessary moves and costly mistakes or buyer's remorse. People who feel that they're being forced to move. Family and friends make the decision for you. It's got to be something that you want to do. It gives clarity to your timing and your budget and priorities, especially important when planning retirement housing options. It needs to be your decision. You're the one who has to live with it.
That's it for today's episode. I hope this resonated with you. Remember, you don't have to downsize your home before you really understand what you want.
Right size first, and then decide what housing choices supports the life that you want best. Do your research, ask for advice from a trusted realtor, and family friend. Find someone who's done this kind of work in the past, understands what you're going through, willing to take the time to listen, not just looking for another sale.
If you're thinking about selling that family home, moving to a smaller home, or exploring retirement communities,
we're here to help you through that entire process with clarity and confidence. Our goal to help you make an informed decision. We've been doing this in the Seattle area for quite some time.
Thanks for listening and watching. Getting Your Edge, How to Downsize Your Home and Life. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and we hope to see you next time. Thanks.
Oh, Dennis, we forgot. Aren't we going to have a little cheat sheet that will be available for people to download?
Yeah. You are right. Thanks for reminding me on that. Folks, we've given you a ton of information, so we're going to make this PDF available for you to download. And this is basically what we've talked about in a one-page form.
You didn't take notes. There it is.
So we want to make sure that you have access to that information on a one-page PDF. We will put a link in our description of this podcast, and it'll be available. Click on the link, and you'll be able to download it, and it will explain exactly what we have said. It also gives our information. So if you have questions about resizing, downsizing, or any other real estate needs.
If you're not in the Seattle or Washington area, don't think that you can't reach out to us. We'd be happy to answer questions for you, and we might be able to find someone experienced in your area if you need help.
That's it, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.